Okay. So as I can, some of our regular fellow co-explorers have joined us. जी, प्रताप जी नमस्ते, नमस्ते हरबंश सिंह जी, सुभाष चंद्र जी,
नमस्ते नमस्ते मैम।
नमस्ते, नाइस भैया। सो welcome to the follow-up session of the eSIP.
Thank you मैम।
जी भैया। So dear all, namaste and a very warm welcome. On Wednesdays we have the follow-up sessions for the module 1 of the student induction program, and as I can see that we have some of our fellow faculty members as well as some of the students who have joined in this follow-up session. For the fellow faculty members, we would say that it is our responsibility to take up the student induction program in our various colleges and institutes, wherever we are working, wherever we are taking our responsibility with respect to the conduction of this induction program. And for some of the students who are maybe in the second year or have just joined in their colleges, have either undergone the student induction program or are about to undergo the student induction program. For most of you, even if you're in the first year, it seems that you may have already undergone the induction activity. So with this, maybe if some of you would like to share your experience as a participant in the induction program or as a mentor, as a facilitator in the induction program, it will be wonderful to hear. And then we'll take up our talk and discussion forward with respect to this particular follow-up session. जी, नमस्ते रविनाथ जी। नमस्ते चंदन भैया, नमस्ते चंद्र कुमार साहू जी।
नमस्ते दीदी।
जी जी भैया।
जी जी, आप आवाज आ रही है मेरी दीदी आपको?
हाँ, बहुत अच्छे से आ रही है भैया, बहुत क्लियर आ रही है आवाज आपकी।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा
जी।
या दीदी, ये तो अच्छा है, सब कोई कोशिश कर रहे हैं और जो कोशिश है उससे जो बहुत सारा चीज सीखने को मिला है। और जिस ढंग से हम एक कोर्स अटेंड करने से पहले जिस ढंग का मतलब वो बात किसी चीज को समझने में जल्दबाजी कर देते थे या किसी दूसरे से बात उत करते थे, तो जो एटीट्यूड होता था, जिस ढंग से होता था, काफी ज्यादा बदलाव हुआ है। और क्योंकि हम लोग तो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में पढ़ाते भी है, तो वहाँ पर भी जो स्टूडेंट है उसके साथ बैठकर जो भी डिस्कशन होता है इसमें उसको भी आगे बढ़ाते हैं और छात्र के सामने भी ये चीज सब रखते हैं, तो काफी अच्छा है। और जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं मिलके, वो शायद हम लोगों के लिए काफी अच्छा हो जाएगा और बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है। और थोड़ा बहुत दीदी एक कहना था कि जब भी ये जो प्रोग्राम होता है तो कभी कभी क्या होता है ना। हेलो दीदी, आप सुन रहे हैं हमको?
जी भैया, बिल्कुल ठीक तरह से सुन रही हूँ मैं।
अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ 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 हाँ। तो दीदी क्या हो रहा है ना इसमें, जैसे हम लोग जो जो जैसे हम लोग है तो जो सीख पा रहे हैं, जो स्टूडेंट को पढ़ाते हैं, तो उसमें कभी कभी बहुत क्लैरिटी के साथ नहीं हो पा रहा है। तो अगर जो सेशन है जिसमें पार्टिसिपेंट को प्रेजेंट करने के लिए दिया जाता है, उसको थोड़ा अगर ज्यादा बढ़ाते, नंबर ऑफ ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेंट को लेते और इसको कभी कभी मतलब जो भी होता है उसमें ज्यादा शामिल करते, और पार्टिसिपेंट को बोलते कि आप प्रेजेंट करें, फिर उसको फीडबैक देते और फिर एक बार चांस देते इम्प्रूव का, तो ये अच्छा होता। तो यही मेरा एक सजेशन था दीदी।
जी भैया, हमारा भी यही प्रयास रहता है कि अगर हमारे 2 या 2 से अधिक भी पार्टिसिपेंट एक बार में अपना डेमो सेशन रख पाए शनिवार या रविवार, सैटरडे या संडे की रीयूनियन में, मीटिंग में, तो बहुत अच्छा रहता है। और हमारे पास 2 या 2 से अधिक का भी प्रोविजन है। हम उस सेशन को थोड़ा सा 15 से 20 मिनट के लिए ही रन कर पाते हैं, क्योंकि फिर बाकी की जो एक्टिविटीज हैं वो भी रहती हैं साथ साथ में। बट उस 15-20 मिनट में भी हम काफी एक अपना प्रिपरेशन कर पाते हैं, देख भी पाते हैं। वी आर एबल टू सी दैट वी कैन find or we can enable ourselves as a facilitator. We can the practice of it. तो आपकी बात भैया बिल्कुल ठीक है। तो क्या भैया आप आर यू एबल टू पार्टिसिपेट इन सैटरडे एंड संडे रियूनियंस भैया?
हाँ, संडे के लिए दीदी आप मेरा कर सकते हैं, मैं प्रिपेयर कर लूंगा और हमको थोड़ा गाइड कर देंगे तो हम कर लेंगे दीदी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, अच्छा से कर लेंगे।
हाँ जी भैया। तो भैया आर यू कंफर्टेबल विद इंग्लिश और हिंदी?
No, Didi, I am compatible with both language, English, Hindi, both. I not have any issue.
Okay, that is very nice, Bhaiya. So
Yeah,
in this regard, Parikshit Bhaiya, do we have the link for the WhatsApp group जिसमें हम demo sessions के लिए आप भैया are you connected to the WhatsApp group in which we have participants for demo sessions as well?
No, demo session in WhatsApp group I am not there, but I am in one WhatsApp group that is UHV. I am group 2. That is the name of the group. There I am in WhatsApp group. From where I got the link for Zoom meeting.
Okay, nice Bhaiya. Nice Bhaiya. In that case, maybe Priya Didi, are we able to put Bhaiya into the WhatsApp group where we have the participants for the demo session, Didi?
Yes, Didi, if we can give the
yes, Priya, continue.
yeah, if he can give his phone number, no, I can put him in that group.
Okay, wonderful. So Bhaiya,
Yeah.
will it be okay to put your contact number in the chat so that Priya Didi can add you to the WhatsApp group where the participants will put their proposal for the demo?
Sir has put his number, so I'll add in that group. So you can in that one Google sheet is shared Bhaiya, so you can put whichever date you are convenient to take the demo.
Yeah दीदी, ठीक है दीदी, हम put कर देंगे, ठीक है।
Okay Bhaiya, thank you.
And even Bhaiya, if there is a topic that you would prefer to choose from the PPTs of the eSIP or the introductory workshop, you can mention the topic also. That will also be fine. Then we'll be able to discuss it, sort out, and Priya Didi will be able to take up which slides you'll be taking up for the demo session. And जी भैया।
अच्छा जी दीदी, ठीक है, हम उसमें जो हमको अच्छा टॉपिक रहेगा ना, तो उसमें से हम वो देख के उस स्लाइड में से हम देख के आपको हम भेज देते दीदी, ठीक है, प्रिया दीदी को कम्युनिकेट कर दें। जी दीदी, ठीक।
Very nice. Thank you भैया. And it's really nice to know that Bhaiya is interested in preparing himself as a facilitator or as a mentor for the students. And in that case, even the follow-up sessions and the weekly reunions are a very appropriate and nice platform to give each one of us an opportunity to develop our competence before directly interacting with our students or directly taking up the sessions with our students. So this is quite encouraging and nice, Bhaiya. We'll do the needful so that you are able to take up a session, and then the resource persons are able to guide you accordingly where all we can improve our competence.
जी दीदी, धन्यवाद।
Nice, Bhaiya. Thank you so much. So any other of our fellow co-explorers, our participants, if they would like to share something or put forward their view, expectation, takeaways, or any sharing before we go ahead with the discussions on maybe affection, care, and guidance today. I can see Pratap ji. Namaste, Pratap ji. Namaste, Ranganath ji. Even Lalita ji is there. Namaste, Lalita ji. Ji. So with this, Maya, I think we can just go ahead with the session 10 that is based on that is focused on affection and reverence. So some of the issues or some of the interactions related to the same. So we'll just take up a quick recap of what we had been talking of earlier, that is trust and respect. So when we talk of the human-human relations or harmony in the family, so there are we looked at that there is a relation between one of myself and the self of the other. So the relationship is not as seen by this physical world between one body and the other body. The relationship is more focused on the consciousness of the human. And so the relationship exists. It is there. You don't have to build up the relationship. It is there between one eye and the other eye. One conscious human, one part of the consciousness of a human being with the other human being with respect to the consciousness of that particular human being. So far, we had discussed the feelings of trust and respect. So trust is to be assured. And what is the assurance? Trust is the assurance that the other's natural acceptance to make me happy. And as I can see that, like I want to make myself happy and I want to make the other happy also. In the similar manner, when the other looks at himself, the other wants to make himself happy, and the other wants to make me happy also. So, the doubt on intention part, this part gets a lot of clarity that with respect to the natural acceptance, with respect to the intention, each one of us are the same, and each one of us have the same intention of being happy and making the other happy. Each one of us aspire for happiness, and that too happiness in continuation. In the similar manner, the other one also aspires for happiness in continuation. Therefore, each one of us intention-wise are the same. So trust is the assurance that the other, that the other's natural acceptance to make me happy is there, and it is followed by respect. Now, what is respect? Respect is right evaluation. To make a successful program with the other, it is essential to rightly evaluate myself and the other as well. So we've seen that the right evaluation is respect. So the content of respect is right evaluation. In fact, trust, that is assurance, and respect, that is right evaluation, are at the base of any and every relationship, any and every human-human relationship. So, with a lot of package of the preconditioning and unawareness, often we make this quote even at home that trust is the basic building ground or the foundation of any relationship, and we can see it so clearly over here that the trust, that is the assurance that I want to make myself happy and I want to make the other also happy. In the similar manner, the other wants to make himself happy as well as the other wants to make me happy. Maybe somewhere or the other, I may lack in competence. In the similar manner, the other may also lack in competence. And it may be a lack of competence that we are not able to make each other happy, or we are not able to look into this aspect with clarity. And henceforth, respect is a feeling within me, and the feeling within me for the right evaluation. not just of the other, not pointing out a finger at the other, but looking at the other four fingers which are pointing out towards me also. So first I must be able to make the right evaluation of myself. And henceforth, I look at the other and make a right evaluation of the other as well. Bhaiya, the next slide, please. Let's move ahead, Bhaiya. So, dear all, are you able to see this? You can just put your reflection in the chat. If the part of trust and respect has some clarity, or if there is any doubt you would like to put forward. Ji. Chandan Bhaiya saying yes. Ji. Nice, Chandan Bhaiya. So we'll go ahead, Bhaiya. If there are no queries or no discussion in that matter. If any of you would like to share any of your reflections, any of your experiences regarding trust and regarding respect, and how you understand the content now and how you understood it earlier, and what is your reflection regarding the same, if any of you would like to make a discussion or put forward a discussion on this, it will be appreciable.
हेलो
जी भैया।
हाँ जी दीदी, इसमें तो एक बात तो है कि मतलब जितना बार इसको सुनते हैं उतना कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है, एक ही चीज पे, एक ही बिंदु पे। जैसे अफेक्शन सने हैं, तो जो फर्स्ट क्लास में जो अटेंड किए थे यूएवी 1 का जो सर्टिफिकेट के लिए, तो उसमें जो सीखे थे वो लगा था कि जितना सीखे से उससे 2 या 3 गुना आप ज्यादा अच्छी तरह से समझ पाते हैं। ये तो है, जितना ज्यादा इसको एक्सप्लोर हो रहा है, जितना ज्यादा सीख रहे हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा से मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, इंसाइटफुल जो नॉलेज है वो काफी अच्छा से इम्प्रूव हो रहा है दीदी। तो यही है दीदी, बहुत अच्छा है। जितना बार इसको देखते हैं और जितना बार आप लोग को सुनते हैं उतना अच्छा इम्प्रूव होता है नॉलेज। जी दीदी, यही था।
हाँ जी भैया, वेरी नाइस चंदन भैया। So that means we are able to be more aware of the content that we are listening to, and that awareness is being in us and in form of self-exploration. ठीक बात है ना भैया? We are doing a lot of self-exploration on the content.
Yeah, जी दीदी।
And henceforth becoming aware of our imagination, aware of the content of our imagination. Can we put it this way, भैया? जी. So nice, भैया. So the more we become aware of the content of our imagination, the more I become aware of what is going on in my imagination. I'm able to look at it first. I'm able to just give myself a break and look at what is going on in my imagination, observe it. Initially, I just observe my imagination. Whether it is right, wrong, or whatever direction it is going in, or however it may be, let's just sit back and relax and just we may even close our eyes initially and just try to look into what is going on in my thought, what is going on in my imagination. It may be anything. Just try observing it. And once you try observing it, you will be able to be aware of what is going on. So let's not categorize it whether it is right or wrong, or whether I'm thinking as per my natural act. Just look at it. Just sit, relax, and look at it. Try to see what is going on in your imagination. Sometimes we may even like to pen it down. Like the way my thoughts are moving on, I may just put it down, pen it down in a journal, in a copy, in a diary, and then once I'm able to observe it nicely, then I'll be able to work upon it. Like if my thoughts are very complicated, if my thoughts may bahut ulje hue honge, if they have a lot of knots in it, I'll be able to look at it, how I can make a program to align my thoughts, to align my imagination as per my natural aspect. ठीक है भैया?
Manisha Didi can.
जी भैया, जी दीदी.
my experience after learning this trust and respect, no, initially that I used to doubt the intention, why the other is behaving like that, why I think they want to trouble us, like that was happening. But now if anyone is behaving a little odd or bad or little anger, I can understand the intention is to be for them also to be happy and make me happy, but they are lacking in competence, or that time the mood is bad. That thing has come to me, and with the feeling of relationship with everyone, I am not getting annoyed by their behavior. So that one thing I can share. And the respect part also, before I used to with my students, sometimes with some students I used to over evaluate them. I used to praise a lot, and sometimes I used to if under evaluate also. But with this with this thing, I am very careful. I never over evaluate as well as under evaluate my students. So I'm very careful in the way I talk.
Ji, Didi, so rightly said, Didi. It has been with me also, and it must have been with so many of our fellow co-explorers who are present here in this follow-up session. That yes, earlier even I would often quote that yes, his intentions are not right. Now knowing the intention and the meaning of it, and what it really is to look at the intention of each of the human beings. It gives me so much of clarity that intention wise each one of us are the same. There is the competence which may be a little more or a little less. And once I'm able to look at each other, look at all the human beings with this clarity, then doubting on intention part, it just gets wavered off. It gets so much of clarity. And if we are assured of relations with each other, then we are able to work upon developing the competence of each other. Whoever has more competence can work in complementarity with the other one to help develop the competence of the other. And this gives so much of ease in me, so much of ease in my living, and so much of simplicity in my living. Sahajata ka bhav, the bhav of the feeling of being so uncomplicated in my living. That is clearly brought up in each one of my behavior with the other human being, and you can look for it yourself. You can just give yourself a thought whether you are able to look at your fellow faculty members or your family members or even your students with this clarity. You can put your reflection in the chat. Gee. You can even unmute and express yourself. So we'll go ahead with the feeling of affection. So affection is the feeling of being related to the other. The acceptance of the other as one's relative, and the other is like me. And once I'm able to look at the other being related to me and being like me, one has the responsibility and commitment for the mutual fulfillment in relationship. Like what is quoted in Hindi also, दूसरे को संबंधी के रूप में स्वीकारने का भाव निर्विरोधता के साथ में, without any opposition. If I'm able to look at the other being related to me and I accept the other as my relative, then I hold the responsibility, then I have the feeling of responsibility towards the other, and I find myself committed for the mutual fulfillment of the relationship between me and the other. So will any of you would like to put forward your reflection on the same, or shall we go ahead? Ji. जी प्रिया. So Bhaiya, we'll go ahead. We'll move on to the next slide, please. So affection is a feeling between one and the other. Like affection is a feeling between one human being and the other human being. Like one and one relationship. So when I look at my student and the class is there, my students are there, and I'm as a mentor, as a facilitator for my students, I may be taking up my core subject, or I may be talking of the content of universal human values also with them. So once I'm able to look at my students with the feeling of relationship and my students to be like me, and I feel that I hold the responsibility towards my relative in developing their competence with respect to the skills that I'm delivering to them or I'm helping them out, and with respect to the relationship and feeling that I'm establishing and I'm putting forward across to them. And the feeling of mutual fulfillment in the relationship also arises. Now, when I look at my students with this clarity, then I feel I find myself responsible towards. Sometimes we find that we say that the students of present days are behaving like this or are they other behaving like that. So what this particular statement, is this particular statement rightly said for the student, or are we holding ourselves also responsible as a mentor, as a faculty, as a teacher, somewhere to take care of our relative or to take our relative into consideration with the feeling of responsibility. So are we able to see the feeling of opposition, the feeling of jealousy? They are all, what are the indicators of? Are they the indicators of lack of affection, or they are related to affection somewhere or the other? I think some of you can just put forward your reflection on this aspect. So when we say, or when there are maybe there are two faculty members in a particular room, and somehow with the feeling of, let's say, competition, or with the feeling of overpowering the other, or with the feeling of not uh, being related to each other, the feeling of opposition as it arises, or somebody's published two papers and I'm not able to publish any. So the feeling of jealousy somewhere. Is this feeling, is this is this a feeling, or is it lack of a feeling? You can put forward your reflection, please. And you can even unmute and discuss. Ji bhaiya. I think some of you can just put forward your views on the same. Ji Priya Didi, am I able to reach out?
जी दीदी
Yes, जी हाँ.
Ji, ji, nice.
जी
Mohan
दीदी
bhaiya, namaste. Mohan bhaiya, see, so Chandan bhaiya, are we able to see this part?
या जी दीदी
What?
थोड़ा सा इस
जी.
पे डिस्कशन कर लेंगे.
हाँ, करते हैं भैया, अच्छा
हाँ
रहेगा.
हाँ
तो
हाँ हाँ
जब भी
हाँ
एक भाव आता है विरोध का,
हाँ
ऑपोजिशन या ईर्ष्या का, jealousy, are these indicators of a feeling in human relationship, or are these indicators of lack of some feeling? Am I able to put it across with clarity? Will you be able to throw some light on it, भैया, or discussion on it?
हाँ दीदी तो एक बात है, जैसे कि अगर हम लोग है जो छात्र है, स्टूडेंट है, और चाहे हम जो डिपार्टमेंट में रहते हैं, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे टीचर होते हैं, प्रोफेसर होते हैं. तो जो प्रोफेसर, कुछ को ऐसा होता है कि उनके पास अधिक अनुभव होता है, एक्सपीरियंस होता है, और कुछ जो है ना अनुभवहीन होते हैं, है ना. तो जो अनुभवहीन है, वो जो अगर स्नेह है उनका अपने से सीनियर के प्रति, तो जिम्मेदारी ये होता है कि मतलब जैसे कि वो जिस टाइम पे वो सोचेंगे कि जिस ढंग से हम है वैसा ही अदर है, तो अपने आप ये भी भाव आएगा कि जो उनके अंदर जो अधिक अनुभव है, एक्सपेरियंस है और मेरे अंदर वो कमी है, तो ये समानता के भाव के साथ हम उनसे वो चीज सीखने का कोशिश करें। और जो दूसरा व्यक्ति है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम लोग तो दूसरे व्यक्ति के बारे में, जो अपोजिट साइड है उसके बारे में तो बात नहीं करते, सेल्फ के ही बारे में बात करते हैं और सेल्फ से ही तुलना करते हैं। तो एक चीज दीदी, अगर हम लोग ये भी कंसीडर करें कि जो दूसरा व्यक्ति है उससे ही हम अगर यही चीज उम्मीद करें, वो भी इसी अफेक्शन के साथ, स्नेह के साथ, जो उनसे अनुभवहीनता है, मतलब अनुभव कम है, तो वो भी अगर इसी भाव के साथ, स्नेह के साथ अगर कम अनुभव वालों को सहायता करे कि आप भी ये चीज सीखिए, आप भी जैसे आप पब्लिकेशन का डिस्कस किए थे दीदी, तो यू हैव टू ऑल्सो लर्न अबाउट हाउ टू डू द गुड पब्लिकेशंस। सो दोनों में एक समानता का भाव आएगा दीदी, और वहां से हमको लगता है कि जो स्नेह है, अफेक्शन है, वो कहीं इफिशिएंटली जो है ना कॉन्वे हो पाएगा दोनों के बीच में, और उसके बाद जो अपोजिशन और जेलसी का भाव है वो काफी हद तक कम भी हो जाएगा दीदी।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा
हाँ
भैया,
हाँ
बिल्कुल
दीदी।
आप, हाँ भैया, बहुत अच्छी बात आपने कही भैया। जब हम एक दूसरे को इस अफेक्शन के भाव के साथ में प्रस्तुत होते हैं, when we present ourselves with each other with the feeling of affection, I feel affection towards you and you feel the affection towards me, and both of us feel related to each other, then this lack of this feeling, if the feeling is there, then we'll be able to hold responsibility and we'll be committed for mutual fulfillment. Very rightly said by you, Bhaiya. Any professor, any faculty who has more skill in maybe research paper publication will look at the other as relative, and henceforth will be able to do the hand holding and help the other develop the competence. Isn't it, Bhaiya?
जी दीदी, जी जी।
And this feeling of jealousy or feeling of opposition, this, in fact, this lack of feeling, let me not call it as feeling, it won't arise. This will not be there if we feel committed to each other with the feeling of relationship and are working towards mutual fulfillment in the relationship. Very nice, भैया, बहुत बढ़िया, nicely discussed.
जी दीदी, और एक बात और है, जैसे हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं ना, फीलिंग ऑफ द बीइंग रिलेटेड टू द अदर, दीदी अगर ये फीलिंग रहे भी, लेकिन जो अफेक्शन है उसको अगर सही मायने में हम एक दूसरे को जो सहायता का भाव है, वो सहायता के बिना सहायता किए हुए बहुत समय तक अफेक्शन को, जो कंटिन्यूअस अफेक्शन होना चाहिए, स्नेह होना चाहिए, उसको शायद कंटिन्यूअस वे में नहीं रख सकते हैं। तो इसीलिए जो दीदी जो आप भी बोले ना कि ये जिसको ज्यादा नॉलेज है वो कम नॉलेज वाला को सहायता करना चाहिए, कम नॉलेज वाला को सीखने का, जो जिसके पास अधिक नॉलेज है उसे सीखने का कोशिश करना चाहिए। तो यहाँ पर दीदी हमको भी लगता है कि ऑटोमेटिक जो अपोजिशन और जेलसी है वो कम हो जाएगा और जो अफेक्शन है वो कंटिन्यूअस हो जाएगा। जी दीदी।
हाँ भैया, बहुत बढ़िया भैया। तो जब फीलिंग ऑफ अफेक्शन होगी तो ऑपोजिशन और जेलसी का तो प्रश्न ही नहीं उठता, है ना। ये तो लैक ऑफ अफेक्शन है ना।
जी जी।
तो अफेक्शन के साथ साथ तो ये अपने आप ही लुप्त हो जाते हैं। तो व्हेन वी हैव द फीलिंग ऑफ अफेक्शन इन मी, व्हेन द अदर हैज द फीलिंग ऑफ अफेक्शन इन हिम, देन these opposition and jealousies, they do not exist in human relations. जी, बढ़िया। So I can see Dr. Sushmita Banerjee. Namaste, Didi. Sushmita Didi, I just saw your mic unmuted. Would you like to put forward any of your reflections, Didi? Ji, maybe I'm not able to reach out to Sushmita Didi. We will go ahead then. Ji, Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, let's move ahead with the next slide, please. So, nicely discussed by Chandan Bhaiya. So, the feeling of affection is the feeling between one human being, one I, and the other I. And these feelings are there. They are there. The relation is there. You don't have to build the relation. It is always there. The only thing is we have to recognize, we have to be aware of it, and accordingly work upon it, conduct ourselves accordingly. So affection is the feeling of really being related to the other, or acceptance of the other as one's relative, and the other is like me. This understanding or this clarity is the feeling of affection. And then one has the responsibility and commitment for mutual fulfillment in this relationship. And if there is a lack of this particular feeling, then arises opposition, jealousy, and therefore these opposition and jealousy are the indicators of absence of affection. So let's develop a clarity of feeling of affection. Bhaiya, the next slide, please. Parikshit Bhaiya, let's go ahead. Ji Bhaiya. Ji. So let's just take each other's view on how do you feel when a relative or a friend comes to your family. You can just put forward your view or your feeling, your discussion, either by unmuting or putting it in the chat. How do you feel when someone comes to your house, or a friend or a relative comes to live with you or visit you? How do you feel at that point of time? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like welcoming the person? Or do you feel, oh no, another extra burden? Or do you feel, oh no, why has this person come to my house? What kind of a feeling? Okay. Priya Didi is saying comfortable. Nice. Nice, Didi. And this is how we can be assured of feeling whether it has been established in me or not. Then, we feel happy about it, or we want to share many things with them and also listen to them. This exchange of feeling and words satisfy all of us, and that is the interaction between each other. But somehow, if you're not comfortable with someone coming to your house, or someone visiting you, or someone without information coming to you, if you have this feeling that, oh no, extra burden, oh no, why has he come? What kind of a feeling will that be? It will be lack of affection. And lack of affection would be nothing but a feeling, let me not place it as feeling, it is the lack of the feeling, the opposition in me. That why has that person come? So here, we feel connected with the other, take care of their immediate needs. The needs may be related to the body. That means to nurture, protect their body, to give them proper food for nourishment, to give them proper stay arrangement for rest, and facilitate them with the set of the things that they may require in order to be comfortable. And these are the things like giving them food or giving them proper place to rest, make them comfortable. So this is something that is required for the body. Whereas if we interact with them nicely, we are talking to them, we are listening to them, we are listening to what they have to say, this is something that is related to the self, related to the feeling of affection, right? So if any of you would like to put forward your views or your reflections on the same, or any example, any incident that you can relate to and like to put forward accordingly over here. Ji. Like I'll give you a very small example right now of the contemporary time itself. Well, I had a little construction work going on in my house, and the floor was being repaired. As my house is an ancestral house, and it's more than 50 to 60 years old structure. So the floor was cracked and uneven all across all the rooms. So with my daughter and my son being a little grown up now, they felt that they are in their like my son is just 20 and my daughter is in early 20s. So they felt that the floor needs to be repaired, and we were getting the floor repaired. And one of my son's friends, he is from Chandigarh, so he just came directly to Lucknow from using Chandigarh mail, and he had to stay here for 2 days for some exams and then go ahead. Now the whole house being in a state of not so comfortable, all construction material around and the floors being all broken and cracked. Yet, uh, uh, what came to my mind was my son thought that maybe I'll not be comfortable, and I may even uh, put harsh words across that why did you invite your friend over when the house was not in right condition. So I just said that will it be fine if we lay down some mattresses on the floor which is not yet broken, and will it be comfortable for the two of you to sleep there? And I'll be preparing just khichdi, and will that be fine for both of you? So with this feeling, and with the feeling I put forward for the other child who had come over, uh, he was comfortable, and he stayed here, and he wrote his exam the next day which he had, and then the day after that he had his train back. So he went, and I was just trying to recall that before being connected with the whole content of UHV, and doing a lot of self exploration on the same, maybe situation would have put me in a lot of opposition. That why did you call your friend to stay over for 2 days when the house was not under repair, and I'm not able to cook properly, I'm not able to serve properly, and where is he going to sleep? Maybe I would have just said all this across. But when you can look at the feeling of affection with one and the other, then you yourself are in harmony within yourself, and you're able to put across your imagination and your expression to the other, and the other is also able to look at you with the feeling of being related, and we are mutually fulfilling for each other in this way. So this is one of my small sharing of just the last week. Maybe some of you would like to share some of your experiential validation of the feeling of affection. Ji. Well, we can go ahead. Ji bhaiya, I think we can move ahead with the next slide. So before, I think if you can, if some of you can put forward your views, also your uh, experiential validation maybe, or anything that you may have experienced in the same light, that will be interesting to listen to. Ji. So let's look at the college and the college life and the students' parents. The seniors are there, and the new entrants, the first year lots who enter the college with some preconditioning in their imagination, in their thoughts, that what college is going to be. And then we come across some of the activities with the lack of competence that may not be all that comfortable. So the interaction and ragging, the two words, they ring across each young mind as they enter the college life. So, of course, a welcoming, healthy interaction is a must. Why? Because, we are a member of a particular institute or a particular university, of the same university and family. The young ones who are entering the university, they are required to be familiar with their seniors, and the senior ones who are already there in that institute or university for a year or even more. are required to take care of the young ones who are coming, who are leaving their home, or who are coming for the first time to a university, to the higher education, to the undergraduate course. So we'll be staying there together for how many years? 3 to 4 years. The senior ones maybe for 3 years, or some of the courses which are running for 3 years, some of the courses which are running for 4 years, some of the courses like architecture which are running for 5 years. So all these, the new entrants and the senior lots are going to be together for very many years. They need to be introduced to each other. The healthy interaction is also key for their mutual development. Thus, if we feel being related to each other, then we want to know each other. We want to know the skills in each other. We want to know the competence of each other. And in this way, we are able to help each other out by understanding each other and learning together. But what we come across in many of the organizations, or the fear which may be there in many of the young minds, that once they go into higher education, into university, or in a hostel, the seniors may be harsh to them, or may put across their entertainment through them, which may or may not be even gullible by the new entrant. And that is termed by all across the universities as ragging. So what will be the right way to interact and welcome the young entrant? Through a healthy interaction, or through something that may not be all that comfortable for the young entrant, and may put young entrants into some fear or into some opposition for the senior. You can put forward your view and reflection on this particular discussion. G. If any experience of the same kind has taken place while you were in the university or in your institute, and some of such situations where the young students may have approached you, if you are the mentor of some of the young ones, then with such cases that may have come up to you, which you may have resolved, you can just put forward your examples and experiences. जी चंदन भैया।
जी दीदी, एक्चुअली हम बोलना नहीं चाहते थे क्योंकि हमको लगा कि हम अपना टाइम ले चुके हैं, कोई दूसरा आदमी डिस्टर्ब नहीं हो, लेकिन कोई नहीं आया है इसलिए हम ले रहे हैं समय।
क्या आप बोलिए प्लीज, बहुत अच्छी बात है।
जी दीदी, जो आपने स्टूडेंट का एग्जाम्पल दिया है छात्र का, तो आप भी चर्चा किए हैं कि उनके जब वो आते हैं कॉलेज में चाहे कहीं पर, तो उनके अंदर कुछ जो है ना पहले से कुछ भावना बनी होती है, जो ब्रांच में वो एडमिशन लेते हैं उसके बारे में, कॉलेज के बारे में, वहाँ के जो लोग हैं, प्रोफेसर है, स्टूडेंट है, उनके सीनियर, उसके बारे में तो बहुत सारे भावनाएं उनके अंदर होती है, उस भावना के साथ आता है। तो जब उनके साथ जो कोई इंटरेक्शन होगा, तो उनके अंदर जो भावना बनी होती है, कुछ अच्छी भी होती है और कुछ जो नेगेटिव है वो भी रहता है। जब उनके साथ जब किसी का इंटरेक्शन होता है अच्छा से शुरू में, जो उनका सीनियर स्टूडेंट है, सीनियर है, जो आगे के क्लास में पढ़ रहे हैं, और चाहे जो वहाँ पे टीचर है, प्रोफेसर है, तो एक उनके अंदर जो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग है वो होता है, और प्लस जो आगे की उनके लिए जो राहें है वो आसान हो जाती है। तो जो दीदी इंटरेक्शन होता है वो काफी हेल्पफुल होना चाहिए, जो आप भी डिस्कस किए हैं। और ये काफी लगता है कि जो भी कॉलेज में मेंटर है, चाहे प्रोफेसर है, चाहे उनके सीनियर छात्र है, उनके द्वारा उन छात्रों को काफी अच्छा से इंटरेक्शन करे और उस पर मेहनत करे, और उनको जो प्री डिफाइंड कुछ उनके ब्रेन में है उन चीजों को कम किया जाए, जो भी नेगेटिव चीज है, ताकि क्योंकि वहीं पर हम जो एक निर्माण का काम है, उनके अंदर जो व्यक्तित्व निर्माण का काम है, और जो कैसे वो अच्छा से इंटरेक्शन कर पाए आगे, और जो रेगिंग से हो जो प्रॉब्लम है, जैसे वो कोई अगर नेगेटिव चीज हो आगे उनके प्रति और उनके द्वारा, उस चीजों को कम किया जा सकता है। तो दीदी ये काफी हेल्थी वे में किया जाता है, हम भी करते हैं, हम भी क्योंकि मेंटरशिप में इन्वॉल्व है, तो छात्रों को इस ढंग का सवाल पूछेंगे जो आपको लगेगा कि ये बचकाना कर रहा है, क्योंकि उसके अंदर कुछ पहले से उसके दिमाग में कुछ चल रहा होता है और वो उन चीजों से बाहर तब निकलता है जब उसको हम बताते हैं कि ये चीज ऐसा नहीं है, ये ऐसा है। जैसे जो छात्र आता है शुरू शुरू में दीदी एडमिशन लेता है तो सबसे पहले वही पूछता है कि हमको अच्छा मार्क आएगा कि नहीं, क्या क्या पढ़ना चाहिए। तो दीदी जब बताते हैं कि ये सिलेबस है, इसको अच्छा से पढ़ो, सोच समझ के पढ़ो, और प्राकृतिक रूप से हर जगह जो सर्व स्वीकार चीज है जिसको नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस बोलते हैं, दीदी वो सब्जेक्ट में भी तो वही लागू होता है। यही हम लोग बताते हैं कि जितना आप कर सकते हो, जितना मेहनत कर सकते हो वही आप कीजिए। तो जो दीदी ये इंटरेक्शन होता है ना, होने के बाद काफी ज्यादा उसके अंदर इम्प्रूव आता है, और सबसे बड़ा दीदी होता है कि कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग हो जाता है दीदी। तो यही था दीदी मेरा सबमिशन। जी
जी,
दीदी।
बहुत बढ़िया भैया, आपने ठीक बात कही कि जब हम एक हेल्दी इंटरेक्शन करते हैं, when we have a healthy interaction with the students, then whatever fear they have in them or whatever preconditioning they are coming with, often we are able to look at it with awareness and help them resolve those fears or those oppositions in them. Very rightly said, Bhaiya. Nice. And the purpose of student induction program, the 21 days student induction program, is this itself. The purpose is this itself, so that a healthy relation, a good relation, a feeling of affection between the new entrant and the senior lot, they are able to see with each other and hence mutually fulfill this relationship, work with complementarity with each other. जी भैया, नाइस चंदन जी, थैंक यू भैया। आई कैन सी अशोक बहेरा जी, अशोक जी।
हाँ हाँ दीदी, नमस्ते।
नमस्ते भैया।
नमस्ते नमस्ते।
जी भैया।
हाँ दीदी, लास्ट वेडनेसडे एक भैया थे, उनका नाम भूल जा रहा हूँ, परस राजू लस्तान या कुछ समथिंग लाइक दैट। वी हैड अ डिस्कशन ऑन दैट। मैंने उनसे क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि हम जब ड्राइव करते हैं तो गुस्सा कर जाते हैं दूसरों को ड्राइविंग देख के, और ऐसा। तो भैया ने कुछ सजेशन दिया था, तो आई ट्राई टू इम्प्लीकेट ऑन माई सेल्फ ओनली। तो जब गाड़ी चलाता हूँ तो गुस्सा तो नहीं आता है अभी, मगर थोड़ा सोचते हैं कि कैसा चला रहा है बस। वो बोले थे कि किसी को भी करना है तो सोचना अगर ये तुम्हारा रिलेटिव हो तो, देन व्हाट यू सपोज टू थिंक ऑन दैट, राइट नो। तो मैंने ऐसे ही सोचा था, तो मेरा गुस्सा थोड़ा हद तक जो चिड़चिड़ होता था मैं वो कंट्रोल कर सका, दैट इज ट्रू। बट व्हाट हैपेंस ना दीदी, इन केस ऑफ स्टूडेंट आल्सो यू सी, कि ये मैं अभी फील कर सकता हूँ कि जैसे कि मान लीजिए मेरा बेटी है 5 क्लास की है, 2 क्लास की है, अगर वो ABCD नहीं लिखना पहचानेगी, नहीं लिखना जानेगी, देन शी कांट रीड द अल्फाबेट्स, कांट रीड द सेंटेंस एंड वर्ड। So similarly, the students, those who are coming nowadays, if we want to teach them the chemistry, so they must know the basic things like the alphabets for the chemistry, right? Periodic table, small sentences, and all other things. So this is the basic thing what they has to clear in the 11th and 12th. If they don't have that, no, and they are coming to the graduation level now. Okay, and that stage also, if you will teach them, tell them, beta isko padho, इसको सीखो, बट आप पढ़ाते रहिएगा तो आप उनको बहुत मजा आता है सुनने में, सीखने में। सर सीख गए हैं, सर समझ गए हैं, सर पता लग गया सर, हाँ। मगर अगले दिन जब आते हैं पूछते हैं ना, तो हर कोई, मैं फिर से उसको दोहराता हूँ कि हमने ये पढ़ा था, ये था। तो उस बच्चे का अंदर में इतना कुछ तो होते हैं कि तुरंत ही बता सकते हैं, कुछ तो होते हैं ऐसे कि मुंह से आवाज नहीं खुलता है, जिससे कि मैं जानना चाहता हूँ उस बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है कि नहीं कर सक रहे हैं। ये मैं खुद में एनालाइज करता हूँ, मगर मैं समझ नहीं सक रहा हूँ कि इस चीज को कैसे हैंडल करें और बच्चे में कैसे, क्योंकि दे आर इन द ग्रेजुएशन। हम अगर एक एक बच्चे में अगर इतना टाइम करेंगे, हमें तो 40 मिनट या 50 मिनट का टाइम मिलता है टीचिंग करने में, तो उसमें अगर हम बच्चे से इतना सारे इंटरेक्शन करेंगे, बुलाने के बाद भी बच्चे नहीं आते हैं, मैं बोलता हूँ कि बेटा आपके साथ प्रैक्टिकल होता है तो आप मुझे आके पूछ सकते हो, स्टिल नहीं आते, वो खुद से भागते रहते हैं। मैं नहीं समझ सकता क्यों भागते रहते हैं ऐसे। ये सब चीज को, जैसे कि मेरी बेटी भी है, तो उसको जब मैं बोलता हूँ तो मुझे गुस्सा करती है कि नहीं, पापा के पास नहीं पढ़ूंगा, मामा के पास पढ़ूंगा। मैं बोला ठीक है, पढ़ो तो सही, किसी के भी पास पढ़ो, मगर बैठती है तो पढ़ती ही नहीं है। उसको अगर बोलेगा मैथ पढ़ो या हिंदी पढ़ो, वो दूर से भाग जाएगी। मैं बोला क्यों नहीं पढ़ रही हो, वो कुछ बोलती ही नहीं है। इस चीज को हम समझे कैसे दीदी?
जी भैया, तो भैया हमें पहले तो अपने आप में इस फीलिंग ऑफ अफेक्शन को अश्योर करना है और इसको क्लैरिटी के साथ में देखना है। दूसरी चीज, जब हम दूसरे के प्रति जिम्मेदार अपने आप को फील करते हैं, द मोमेंट वी फील दैट we our competence is more than the other and I feel related to the other, then I also feel responsible towards the other, and then I'm able to work upon this mutual development of each other again and again till the other is assured of my behavior, of my effort. Very simple example, bhaiya. When a child is very small and a child is just learning ABCD, so the mother has the feeling of relationship towards the child and goes on taking up the same exercise again and again till the child learns to write and read. It's a tedious process though, without getting any disharmony within herself. She may learn it in just 5 to 6 days, or the child may take even a month or more to learn the same. But the mother does not give up making the effort. Are you able to see this, Bhaiya?
हेलो,
जी
हाँ
भैया,
दीदी
are you
बोलिए।
able?
Yes, but still I am not satisfying Didi myself that
जी
you are
जी
saying that we have to see our competence first.
जी
Right? No, Didi, I agree with that. Ki we, I am not related to the students. I am understanding that thing. Ki that they do have a little lacking in the basics in the high school level. So let me start from the basics. So
जी
I can take first class, second class daily. I will give them 10 minutes or out of the 40 minutes. I used to divide it 10 minutes for revision or 20 minutes for revision, and I used to teach 20 minutes only the new thing, so that student can get benefit. But still, I didn't understand that how to improve that one.
जी. So let's try to do a little more exploration on the same, and maybe Bhaiya, today we are already at 8:30. Maybe we'll be
Yeah,
able to take this. Let's keep this open. Okay,
yeah,
Bhaiya?
yeah. Because it is a real thing, serious issue, I think.
Yes, yes, it's a very real problem, and it is
Yeah,
faced by nearly each one of us while
yeah.
being in our classroom.
Yeah, I supposed to ask to the senior persons also that
जी
how could we deal, how could we understand that one also.
जी भैया.
But I never used to get any answer. They used to tell that join that FDP, learn that thing, but nowhere these things explain, Didi. Frankly
जी
saying.
भैया. So भैया, I'll just put forward my experiential validation on the
Mm,
same, that
yeah,
how
Didi.
I have taken that into my classroom. So
Yeah,
there
Didi,
are some of the
please.
children who learn slowly. There are some of the children who catch fast. There
Yeah,
are some of the children who may take the understanding of the content in 1 or 2 lecture. But
yeah,
there are still some children, the whole syllabus is over and they are still stuck with the
yeah,
basics.
yeah, Didi.
Yeah, how I go about doing it, I prefer to give them a separate, you know, time during the lunch break also. Yeah, how I take it up, I ask them to finish their tiffin or their lunch quickly in 15 minutes. I also get done with my eating in 10 to 15 minutes. And then I sit with them in the lab and try to ask them to reflect on what they have learned. And then wherever they are lacking, help them out. This has worked with me.
Yeah.
And you can
I-
devise a program for yourself also, but we can talk on it, Bhaiya. We'll keep this question open because it's a very,
No,
very
Didi,
relevant.
you are saying the right thing. I used to do that one also in earlier college. So they were so happy, so happy. I mean, they can't believe that one. That in the before exam, what I used to do, no, in the practical classes only 4 hour practical. So I used to teach that poor student that in 2 hours. Two hours I used to give the question answer, practice 2 hours. At 2 hours they used to do practical. They used to get a huge benefit. But if the system changes, everything used to change, interaction will be decreased. So we can't do in that case.
Ji,
But I have to manage in 1 hour how to do, or some other times I have to take out.
ji, Bhaiya. So I think some more program we need to talk out and sort out for such young students. Yet, Bhaiya, we'll keep this question open. Maybe
Open,
each
yeah,
one of us
Didi,
for
yeah,
a
Didi,
few hours,
yeah,
we'll give
yeah, Didi,
ourselves a good self-exploration, and we'll be
yeah,
able
Didi.
to put forward our program, how we plan to take up this particular query or question, and how we plan to take it up for our students. Will
Yeah,
that be
Didi.
okay?
Yeah, Didi, yeah, Didi. Thank you, Didi.
Ji, ji.
Thank
Nice, Bhaiya. So
Namaste,
Seema
Didi.
ji is also here. Seema Patel ji. Seema, if you're able to hear me, if you will be able to put forward some light on how you take care of your students who are not so quick learners, and Professor Sanjay Verma is also there, he's unmuted. Ji.
Um, well, those who are not quick learners, then I try to assign them with people like, I try to team them up with someone who's a quick learner, and then make it a responsibility for both,
Ji.
that you are responsible for each other. And it's because often I have seen, at least in school level, that the ones who are quick learners, they move on further ahead, and the ones who are a little lost, they sort of get the feeling that we are like, we are somewhere lost way behind, and that leads to a kind of inferiority complex. So what I do is that even for the quick learners, for them to have empathy, to realize, and it's like, everyone has their special capability somewhere. So maybe someone who's a quick learner may not be a very good writer, or may not have very good perceptive, like their different intelligent quotients levels are different, emotional quotient may be different. So when they team up, when I team them up with people with different capabilities, so that makes everyone feel that they are contributing and they are responsible for, in a way of complementariness, that they are responsible for each other as a team to take it forward. So this is something that I learned from my children's schooling, when they were in Krishnamurti Foundation. I was exposed to this kind of a thing that is happening there at that time. So I was quite impressed, and I started using this in my college level as. Thank you.
Nice. So, Bhaiya, see, this is this is also one of the way where we say each one teach one. So this kind of a concept. Well, with this, I think since we are already 8 to 9 minutes beyond our normal session time. So with this, I think we leave this question open. So one of the reflection which Seema ji is given uh, is also to be looked into and experientially validated on our own right also. And it looks quite fine for the students to be working upon. We can talk further on the same when we meet again coming Wednesday. So, and we'll leave this question open for all. to discuss about, and Professor Sanjay had raised his hand and muted also, but Bhaiya put in chat that his mic is not working, so he's not able to put on his reflection for everyone listening. So we'll be able to discuss about it maybe next Wednesday in detail. So with this, Parikshit Bhaiya, shall we say namaste to all?
Namaste, Manisha Didi. Namaste.
Namaste, Priya Didi.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste, Didi.
Namaste, madam. Manisha, madam.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Thank you. Tara Prasanna Bhaiya, namaste to all.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, Parikshit.
Namaste.
Namaste,
Namaste to all.
Namaste. Namaste. Good day. Namaste.
Yeah, very good words, sir. Each one teach one, each one plant one.
Certainly, certainly.